Hi, hello. Welcome to the episode of Isaiah's Newsstand. It's your host, Isaiah Edwards. The date is August the 26th, 2025. Hopefully this episode finds you well, in good spirits and high hopes. As for me, I'm doing okay. It's another okay day, but overall I would say it's been good, but balanced, mixed, but we'll get into it. So I would say, the overall recap, I'll just give you that. We had a good day, for a Tuesday, we made the most of it. Work was busy, but, we got through it okay. Then post work, we went to the gym. Gym was busy, but I was able to get on all the machines, so that felt good. I overall had a good workout. I would say maybe the worst part technically, physically, was, as when I got home, I got settled, I got ready to do some research, my stomach just started not agreeing with me. So, it is what it is. The show must go on, whether my tummy is rumbly or not. But yeah, throughout it all, I would say the overall structure of my day was good. It went well. I think I'm just still mentally in my bag about yesterday, about having two blow-ups and just stewing over it all night. It was something that I woke up with, and I literally was a little bit late to work because I just didn't want to get out of bed. I was just I don't feel good. I just mentally don't feel good, and I don't want to get up until I do, and I knew I wouldn't. So that kind of sucked. But overall, I think as the day continued, I was a bit stewy. I was a bit stoic, whatever. I kept to myself. But, I think, I don't know, it was something around the time I got home and I just started doing some research. My mood just kind of started improving. I don't know. There's something about this project, or maybe it is the sum total of my day and it's all my hobbies kind of culminating, but I definitely got to give some credit to this work of just getting into this mindset, getting into this mode. A lot of times can just help me, even in the moment, it can help me just, initially get through it. And then, even after the fact, it can just help me process, it just, the further I kind of get away with it, this just feels like a fast forward moment in it. I don't know. It's a weird kind of magic. I couldn't explain it unless you did it. I don't know. But overall, I would say I'm good. Like I said, I'm just hoping my stomach holds. Hopefully, there's no problems. But yeah. So let's go ahead and do our startup, and let's go ahead and get into some news. Figured let's just get right into it. Ugh. All right. Our first story comes from The Hill. Trump moves to fire Lisa Cook from Federal Reserve Board. President Trump on Monday moved to fire Federal Reserve Board of Governors member Lisa Cook over allegations she committed mortgage fraud. I have determined that there is sufficient cause to remove you from your position, Trump wrote in a letter to Cook, which was posted on Truth Social. Trump last week called for Cook, who was appointed by former President Biden in 2022, to resign following allegations by Bill Pulte, whatever the fuck, we're going to say Pult, a Trump ally and head of the Federal Housing Finance Agency, that she committed mortgage fraud by listing two primary residences. Trump said he would try to fire Cook if she did not resign. In his initial allegations, Pult included photographs of document signatures apparently belonging to Cook that allegedly applied to two different primary residences, one in Michigan and another described as an Atlanta condo. The president can fire members of the Federal Reserve Board for cause, but it's unclear if the allegations against Cook could reach that standard. So I think that's why this pressure campaign has been mounted and is building. I think Trump has now a line in to say, hey, I can take this person out who is literally a Biden appointee. I think also they mentioned the factoid that I think she might be the first black woman that has had this position. I might be wrong. Don't quote me on that, maybe. But that was a Biden pick, pure and simple. And for Trump, he wants he wants them out. It also lines up with his whole pressure campaign against the Fed because he wants them to lower interest rates, and they refuse. Now, granted, what is it? Jerome Powell. He, despite all the pressure, I think he is, I don't want to say cracking, but like seeing the writing on the wall, if you will. I mean, he's going to be out come next May. And since his the last big meeting event or whatever that they had, he has kind of signaled that might be the coming thing in the future, that they are going to at least maybe slightly lower interest rates. So, I mean, we'll see about that. But in that regard, Trump is already then getting what he wants. And even if not, then once again, just wait until next year, dude. Just wait until May. Hold on till May, brother. But of course, that's just not Trump's style. That's not this administration's style. You saw that with the big, beautiful bill. They could have sliced that shit up and just easily fucking just fed it to Congress, and it would have went through without a hitch. But they're like, nah, we want all of it. We want to make it potentially even complicated for our own base of lawmakers to maybe I don't want to go along with it. It's too much, too soon, too much all at once. He said, nah, you're gonna get it done, and they did. So I mean. Despite the fact that I'm talking shit, saying it would just be smarter for him to wait, maybe he fucking doesn't have to. Maybe this guy can continue to just defy logic, defy laws, all kinds of shit. Walk on water. I mean, our God Emperor does it all, does he not? Our Emperor in orange. So, we'll see. Cook has vowed to fight this. She's essentially saying, hey, I'm not going to let some trumped up charge that you posted on a social media app, control my future. I'm going to fight this. I'm going to, essentially she said, I'm going to get to the bottom of answer these, legal questions. So, I mean, we'll see what comes of this. It sounds like she's not fucking leaving. And Trump's not giving up. So he's going to want her out any way possible. So we'll see how that goes. But let's move on. We're going to take it to Australia from the BBC. Manhunt underway after 2 police shot dead in rural Australian town. A heavily armed man is being hunted after 2 Australian police officers were shot dead and 1 injured in an ambush in a small rural town in Victoria. Police described the situation in Porpunka in the Australian Alps, 300 kilometers or 186 miles northeast of Melbourne, as an active incident, and that hundreds of officers had been deployed. Officers were attacked as 10 of them attended a house to serve an arrest warrant, which Australian media said was for historical sex offenses. Police say the suspect escaped by running into the bush alone after the shooting. Australian media named him as Desi Freeman. Police have not officially confirmed the name. A police statement said that the suspect was believed to have been on his own at the time of the shooting, and that his partner and children had been accounted for after attending a police station. My message to that person is to give yourself up so that the community can be at peace and we can have this resolved peacefully, Victoria Police Chief Commissioner Mike Bush said. He said that 10 officers went to the property on Tuesday at about 10:30 local time, or 30 GMT. Let's see. I don't know if I pronounced that time frame right, whatever. Anywho, they were fired upon by a heavily armed offender, he said, adding that 2 colleagues, a 59-year-old detective and a 35-year-old senior constable, were murdered in cold blood. A 3rd officer was shot in the lower body. He was airlifted to hospital and undergoing surgery, Mr. Bush said. His injuries are not life-threatening. The state police chief said all available resources were being used in the hunt for a dangerous suspect and urged locals to stay indoors. But yeah, I mean, that makes sense now, because at the top of the article, I was there was a bit of a question mark, 10 officers to serve a warrant? That's crazy. But then you realize, no, they knew what they were getting into. It's also worth noting that, I'm getting the name wrong, but Freeman was a sovereign citizen. So I heard all of that and I'm like, no, it does make sense why you bring 10 guys. It does make sense that you were completely right to do that, because he was like, nah, I'm waiting for y'all. And, just starts do. And, now we got a manhunt, which is crazy because it's like, dog, like they know who you are. They came specifically for you. So like that makes it, in my opinion, even harder to try to get away. Like they know exactly who the fuck they are looking for and who they are dealing with. So I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe you're in the Alps or whatever, and you're thinking that's going to be your advantage here. You could just like get the jump on them and then run away. But like that's, and it is a small town, but it's not that small, brother. Like I don't know, man. Like it's not like you killed all the cops in this best case scenario, right? So very dumb plan, very fucked up plan. I got to say that. Like I said, I'm working on my humanity, and I'm trying to be like, yes, even though these guys are uniforms, police officers, whatever, a life lost is a life lost. These motherfuckers are trying to protect and serve, especially in this kind of situation. This is a guy who's done historical sex offenses and thinks, I guess he's justified in that. And he's like, well, I'm packing heat, so come get me, bitch. And yeah, I mean, I don't think these guys deserve to lose their lives over that shit. That, obviously that's fucked up. So condolences. Let's see here. I think that's really all I have to pull for right now. I'll keep y'all posted on any more information that comes out of Porpunca. I'm sure I'm not pronouncing that correctly, but I'm sure we'll be back. Now let's get local. Let's actually talk Kroger, my favorite grocery store, in which I'm paying way too much money every time I fucking go. But I digress. From WCPO or ABC 9 or ABC WCPO 9, we'll say it that way, Cincinnati. Kroger to lay off nearly 1,000 corporate workers, including some downtown Cincinnati employees. The Kroger company, which is headquartered in downtown Cincinnati, is set to lay off nearly 1,000 corporate workers, the company announced Tuesday. A spokesperson for the company said the layoffs will include only corporate administrative staff. Those working in stores, manufacturing facilities, or distribution centers will not be affected. Of the nearly 1,000 workers laid off, around 200 of them work locally in Cincinnati, the spokesperson said. In an internal letter to employees, the company said it was looking for ways to simplify the organization, shift resources closer to our customers, and focus on work that creates the most value. Outside the layoffs, the company said it also halted projects that weren't helping run great stores. With the administrative layoffs, Kroger said in an internal letter that it can focus on lower prices, new store growth, and more jobs in stores. I somehow think that's just not going to be fucking true with tariffs coming and becoming more and more solidified. In terms of like in your wallet, in terms of like what you're losing, I highly doubt you're going to notice the lower prices. Maybe, yeah, the stores are going to get bigger and they're going to get filled with hopefully more goods. Hopefully we still get all the goods. We don't have weird shortages. We'll see about that. And I hope they're not capping about the jobs, but then all that means is that you cut from the top and then try to fill with like, less or more at the bottom, which you don't have to pay as much. So, okay, cool cost cutting move, I suppose. The new round of layoffs at Kroger comes just a few months after the company laid off roughly 200 employees from its downtown Cincinnati-based data analytics unit known as 84.51. In early February, a Kroger spokesperson acknowledged an initial round of roughly 200 job reductions, but it was unclear if the 84.51 layoffs were included in that. So we covered that a little bit in terms of just knowing what the 200 job cuts were. We knew that was the thing that had happened. Was planning on happening. In June, the company also announced that it had planned to close 60 stores in the next 18 months. We didn't cover that. So that kind of goes against the whole job or the store growth. You're literally cutting stores entirely. So that sucks. And I have seen, I wouldn't say this is super recent. I say maybe it was I think about 2 years ago, there was a Kroger. Actually, I think a couple Krogers around me have closed. So, we're definitely noticing it there in that regard, like in a local sense around me, anecdotally. Anyway, of course, like I said, that wasn't super recent, those closings. But the company declined to identify which stores will close, but a spokesperson said at the time, we do not expect any store closures in Cincinnati at this time. I kind of just want to fast forward now to the last part of this. We covered the resignation of the CEO, Rodney McMullen. That took place in March. I found out, at least I heard some rumors about what happened there. Like what was the cause of it? And then in the headline that got me was like, oh, Jewel is connected, as in Jewel the singer, as in who will save your soul. I was a terrible Jewel impersonation and attempt, and hey, that's okay. This isn't karaoke. Give me the last break, and I could do it better. But definitely Jewel was like in the headline, and I'm clicking. It's a little less scandalous than I thought, but it's still relevant. The former Kroger CEO, Rodney McMullen, and I'm reading this from a AI overview, but I have pulled this from like other articles and stuff. The former Kroger CEO, Rodney McMullen, and singer Jewel have a connection through a 2023 lawsuit filed by Jewel's company against Kroger, alleging breach of contract over Kroger's Wellness Festival. The lawsuit claims Kroger cut Jewel's company out of a profitable partnership and has sought to have McMullen testify about his reasons for resignation, which occurred after an internal investigation into his personal conduct. McMullen's lawyers argued against disclosing details of his resignation, but a judge ordered him to provide a written explanation of the court for the court's consideration. So that leads to like maybe the big reason, or one of the big reasons why they axed McMullen, or why he left, what have you. And also maybe leads to another one of the reasons on maybe why we have some of these layoffs happening, sorry, I'm stuttering, of around 1,000, you know what I mean? Maybe, I don't think it's more, but who knows? There might be more in the future. Like, once again, a couple months ago, we had just covered 200, and now we're talking 1,000. So technically, if you put them together, that's over 1,000. Anyway, let's move on. We're still in the grocery store, though. We're talking recalls. From Local 12. Hostess issues nationwide recall of popular snack due to possible mold contamination. Hostess has issued a nationwide recall of a popular snack due to possible mold contamination. Hostess has announced a recall of certain Ding Dongs products due to a potential mold contamination, according to the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, or the FDA. The J.M. Smucker Company has initiated the withdrawal of select lots of Hostess chocolate Ding Dongs sold nationwide in the United States. The recall affects single-serve 10-count and family pack sizes with specific Best Buy dates ranging from August 30th, 2025 to September 3rd, 2025. No other products manufactured by the J.M. Smucker Co. are impacted. So you should take this back to the store. You should throw them out. One of the two. You make your judgment call here, but don't eat a moldy dong. Okay, just don't do it. It's not worth it. I know you're hungry. I get it, soldier. But just go ahead and just chuck it. Anyway, we have one more story that I wanted to cover, and then we will call it a day, call it a night. But yeah, we got to go back to the barrel, if you know what I mean. But yeah, let's go ahead and do our last break. Oh, yeah. Shit got me feeling like a Gungan. I was going to say something about Naboo, but anyway. Ooh-wee. Okay. From Yahoo Finance. Cracker Barrel stock jumps as company reverts to old logo after Trump weighs in. So Cracker Barrel cracked. They just had no spine on this fucking issue. And it makes sense. I was kind of waiting for them to do this move. Just because of the fact that, like, when I initially covered this, they were already at a point of like, hey guys, y'all, we hear you. All right, please understand. We didn't like, we need to be more like, come out more, and we should have given you more of a heads up about what we were doing and given you more of a breakdown. This isn't gonna be a big change. It's not that bad. Actually, Old Herschel and the fucking soda Cracker Barrel, it's fine. It's still gonna be on storefronts. It's still going to be on highway signs. It's still going to be on wet menus. Don't worry. Nothing has changed. You still have your old white man. Don't worry. But people were fuming. It was too little. It was too late. Like I said, they lost over $100 million in stock It's crazy to bleed out like that. I think they said like 14% down. And I guess the final nail in the coffin came in a truth post. Which is it's crazy that Trump just has this much juice. I mean, yes, you could say the president of the United States, but like the fact that one, he gives a shit about this like so much, but two, that it actually has an effect. Let's see if I can find the thing. Cracker Barrel's controversial redesign made its way to the president's desk, and now the company says it's reverting to its old logo. We thank our guests for sharing your voices and love for Cracker Barrel. I don't know why I said Cracker Barrel like that. Cracker Barrel. We said we would listen, and we have. Our new logo is going away, and our old timer will remain, the company said in a statement. Here we go. I lost where the president's, Mr. Trump's tweet was, or truth was. Cracker Barrel should go back to the old logo. Admit a mistake based on customer response, the ultimate pull, I tell you, and manage the company better than ever before, Trump said in a post on Truth Social Tuesday morning. They got $1 billion worth of free publicity if they play their cards right. Very tricky to do, but a great opportunity. Have a major news conference today. Make Cracker Barrel a winner again. He should have just said, make Cracker Barrel great again. What a missed opportunity, motherfucker. That's okay. He does what he wants. After the company announced it decided to return to its old logo on Monday evening, its stock jumped again after hours trading, gaining more than 5%. So they already made some of their lick back by just like having Trump scold them and then, give them praise. Like it's wild to me. It really is. But hey, I mean, people complained and they grumbled enough and they got what they wanted. There we go. Yummy. I got I don't know. In terms of like protesting and doing that, I mean, you have this on that side. I know recently over the past, a week or so, I've been seeing like people post about like how like, see, we did something at Target. Like I think the CEO or something stepped down and people are equating that to like the boycott that they did on Target. And I'm like, okay, yeah, you're mad that they're cutting DEI stuff and that's shitty and that's bad and you want them to do something. Well, I mean, cutting the CEO isn't doing something in my opinion. It is maybe acknowledging that you need to make a pivot and that you're wrong, but we've talked about this shit when it comes to McDonald's or Starbucks or wherever. You are not kneecapping the company to the point where they actually capitulate and change for you. You know what I mean? At the same time, you have Bud Light, fucking bowing and bending the knee to goddamn Kid Rock with his fucking AK or whatever the fuck he had, his AR, and he's just fucking blowing up Bud Light. Like, that shit did more than, any kind of fucking protest, it seems. Like, people whining on X.com or whatever the fuck does more one way or another, but it doesn't change anything, is really what I'm getting at. At the end of the day, Cracker Barrel's logo doesn't mean shit. It doesn't matter. I don't know why people felt like this old white dude was really, like, making the food better. I'm sorry, your dumplings are still dumplings. Like it's okay, you know what I mean? I don't know. And also I am curious if this means they're going to change the redesign, the remodels and stuff they were working on. I don't know. No one seemed to really give a shit about that, though. Like, I had, in terms of anyone I talked to, one person was actually tilted about that. And I was like, okay, that makes sense. You don't want your knick-knacky little store to change and, be different. But once again, that discourse was, it's not changing that much. It's just more of a feng shui thing. It's not like you're actually getting downsized. They're still the same rocking chairs. It's still the same old bullshit. Like, I'm like, oh, okay. So once again, I don't think it was ever that deep. I think this is specifically with Cracker Barrel, it was really making something out of nothing. And now conservatives, MAGA heads can be like, yeah, we won. We did it. But once again, to me, and maybe you could say this is short-sighted or fucked up on my part, it's the same kind of thing as like the people who are like celebrating that they brought DEI back to Target, which I don't think they did. They just got a CEO fired, which I think is cool. Like, bravo. I mean, hey, if you're going to get something, at least get that. That's your pound of flesh. I mean, amen for that. But that's not what people are cheering about. They're cheering like they fucking won something, and I just don't get it. But hey, I'm sure someone maybe explains it to me someday, and, maybe I'll go, okay, well, based, and I'll change my mind. I'm open to that, but I just don't think we're ever going to get any ethical consumption in a capitalist society. I just don't. I'll say it every time I bring this shit up. You know what I mean? So like, yeah, I'm going to order off of fucking Amazon. Yeah, I'm going to go to fucking Dunkin' Donuts. I'm going to go fucking eat and enjoy my little shitty life, my little shitty foods, man. I don't know. But also, once again, I really don't want to yuck anyone's yum. If that's what you want to do, by all means, go for it. If that's something that helps you feel better, like not ordering Amazon, not going to McDonald's, by all means, that's cool. I just really dislike when people like point the finger at their peers and be like, you're being a bad person by participating in this. Motherfucker, we're all being bad people by participating in this. Literally, our tax dollars go to blowing up children. Like, I don't know what to tell you. But hey, I've said too much. Anyway, maybe not enough. Now that'll be the episode. That's all I got for today. If you'd like to help out, support the effort, I do have a Patreon. Patreon.com/IsaiahNews. Become a newsie today. Free ways to hit me up, IsaiahNews1@gmail.com. Feel free to follow me or the podcast on any of the socials. Subscribe to the YouTube, follow on TikTok, follow on Spotify, follow on Apple Podcasts, whatever platform you like to listen. Excuse me. In terms of YouTube, leave a cool comment, leave a like, sharing is caring. But you can do that on the TikTok. You can do that on the Spotify and Apple. You know, those are all means that you can leave little fun feedbacks. And specifically with Spotify and Apple, you can do the stars. Those are helpful. But truly, it is just cool that you kick back and listen to me, or I'm something that's a part of your daily life. You know, I love that. I love just being embedded in your world and your sounds. I'm in your ear hole, and I think that's really cool. You know, in a non-weird way, in a non-parasocial, just cool guy, normal way. You know, I think that's pretty dope. So thank you for that. I appreciate you for that, and hopefully I see you soon for some more good news. I love ya. Bye bye. Mwah.